Yeah, baby. Hello, everyone. Join me in the middle of action-packed, bumper-to-bumper traffic heading into New York City. We're going to take one of those bridges, probably the Brooklyn Bridge, into downtown and just ride around and talk about what it's like owning a motorcycle in New York City. Not only just a motorcycle, though, a big motorcycle, because this is a Honda Goldwing. This is a big bike. This is kind of like the equivalent of owning a freaking tour bus in the motorcycle world. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you, as the audience, is there are a bunch of New York motorcycle vloggers. Majority of them are riding naked bikes, right? Like a street triple, like Ducati Monsters and so on. And hey, absolutely nothing against those bikes. I freaking love naked bikes. The Monster was the first bike that I ever wanted. But life goes on, and fortunately for me, my partner loves to ride with me. And not just ride with me as in she has her own bike, but right on the back of my bike. And we've done a lot. We've done probably, since I've gotten this bike, around 5,000 miles together, which is very decent. I mean, you with partners that you motorcyclists out there with partners who are not as keen on this hobby, right? It's kind of like it's a magical thing, and I'm very, very grateful for it. But anyway, so that's why I have a big bike, because it's comfortable for both of us, and just in general. Oh man, is this bike comfortable? Oh man, well, I've had some fairly large bikes in my life. The right before this was a Kawasaki Concourse, which was also a large bike, but not even remotely as comfortable as the Goldwing for two-up riding or even solo riding for long distances. But anyway, enough about kind of this particular bike for right now. The question is, hey, there are, a bunch of these vloggers and YouTubers and influencers that ride through New York, and they tend to ride smaller bikes. Not a lot of people have the larger bikes. Is owning a large bike in the city something that you'd be interested in exploring with me? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But we could talk about just owning a motorcycle in New York in general, because there are some quirks. There are definitely some quirks to it. Chief among them being insurance. If you're thinking about moving to New York, or you've recently come to New York, and you don't have a vehicle, and you're curious on what it all entails, New York insurance is pretty expensive in general. Auto insurance or motorcycle insurance in this instance. If you look at this bike, this is a fairly expensive bike. To get full coverage on it, and what I mean by full coverage is liability and comprehensive, meaning if this bike is stolen, insurance or totaled, insurance will help me cover it in its entirety. Um, a year worth of insurance for this bike is around $1,200, which is, yeah, it's not a small sum considering this is a motorcycle. This is not a full, like a full-size vehicle. A lot of people don't get. I always mix those up, either liability or comprehensive. I think comprehensive, a lot of people will finance a bike in New York and only get liability, which is kind of crazy. Especially if you still own money on the motorcycle. It's not only crazy, it's illegal. Most banks require you to keep full coverage on a automobile or a motorcycle until the loan is paid off. The reason for that is if something happens to the vehicle, it's stolen, it's totaled, the bank no longer has any collateral, right? You still owe money to the bank, but the bank doesn't have the property anymore, neither do you, right? So if you stop paying for that particular loan, there's nothing for them to repossess. Yeah, don't do that. If you cannot afford full insurance on something that you're financing, don't get it. That means, like, it's out of reach. For the moment, it's out of reach. So that's insurance. The second thing is parking. Look around. Granted, we're in a fairly busy part of the city. We're in downtown. I think this is where all the courts are and all that jazz. But there's zero parking for cars, and there's very, very little parking for motorcycles. And if you, ideally, the parking situation that you want to figure out for yourself would be indoor garage parking. Now, not for all the bikes. There are a couple of reasons for this. Like this is not great. It heavily depends on the type of bike that you have. Like a naked sport bike is much more susceptible to theft, because they're popular and because they're lighter. So two dudes could just pull up in the middle of the night, throw it in the back of a van, and the bike's gone forever. So that's reason number one. You'd want to keep it indoor. Number two is weather. New York does get all 4 seasons, and it is possible that it snows in the middle of the winter, and sometimes pretty heavily. And what they do is they throw salt on the ground to melt all of that snow. That basically destroys any machinery, cars included. Stuff gets really rusty, and it's especially bad for a motorcycle because all of our kind of componentry is exposed. So you want to try to find indoor parking, and that's always a pretty large premium, because space is sort of so limited and there's so many people in the city. Let's go. So insurance, parking, tolls, although you do get a discount on tolls for being a motorcycle, the discounts are not that amazing. It depends on where you're traveling to. The Jersey side of MTA or our Metropolitan Transit Authority charges a lot for tolls, and there's only one difference between a motorcycle and a full-size car. So think about that for a moment, right? You could drive like a full-size Expedition or a Tahoe, or you could drive a freaking Vespa, and the difference in toll is $1. That's insane. Whoever thought of that needs to rethink their their life choices. What else? Just gonna ride through Chinatown a little bit. So we went through insurance, tolls, parking situation. Yeah, I think that about covers everything I could think of right now. It is hot, and I'm fairly sure that my brain is melting. But we're gonna head into the financial district from here and just ride around, absorb some of the beautiful scenery. Just a little bit of New York's Chinatown. I'm not sure what to see here for myself, but if this is a neighborhood you're interested in exploring a little bit more, I'm down to come back here with an actual battle plan. It is kind of pretty. Oh, this I know. It's actually one of the last surviving arcades. Look at this. What the heck is this? Oh man. Looks like somebody had a horrible accident and they just left the car here. All right, so that's the end of the riding day. We've hit two bridges today. We've hit the Brooklyn Bridge and the Manhattan Bridge. Both should be pretty nice and scenic. We've ridden through some of the financial downtown. We've been to South Street Seaport. So seen a bunch of really cool stuff today. Hope you like it. You know, if this is the kind of content that you like, please do like, subscribe, absolutely comment below. Let me know what else you want to see in NYC. I love riding around, I love exploring this city, and I'd love to share it with you. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.